Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Sorry, I'm opening a big thing of Twizzlers right next to the microphone. I get Twizzlers for being very good at the hairdresser. I was so normal, you guys. I was so normal. Ad break in 10 seconds. Sorry, everybody. I guess everybody on Twitch, everybody on YouTube, don't have to deal with that. One of my ears is giving me trouble. I also need to... I got Twizzlers because I went to CVS, to be clear. Because I needed to pick up a prescription. The one I probably mentioned on Monday. Eating Twizzlers. They're the filled kind. I really like these. Huge fan. Ad break over. All right. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Daily Peak. My name is Soul. I will once again be your host. And, yeah. I'm back after getting a haircut, which is why this is starting at 2:30 p.m. But I'm going to start up the game, but before we start playing, I need to finish taking my meds. Because I had all but one. And it's the depression one, so I'd like to take it, actually. As opposed to skipping it for a day. I've taken the odd depression med out. The odd med out. It is at a different time than everything else. It's like 4 hours off. So it's not ideal, but yeah. Yeah, how is everybody? I am tired mostly. Cause I had the hairdresser. And then I had to go to work and I left separate from the hairdresser with my dad. Got dropped off at work. Thought I had to do a big print job. You bought dolls today? Hell yeah. Is that why I'm being packaged? Is that why they're putting me in cardboard? Or is that unrelated? I don't know if it's funny or the idea that I am being packaged actively as the stream happens, or that it's unrelated to the thing you said. Oh, you bought them in person. Who the fuck is this guy then? Incredibly fair. I knew it was suspicious that I was getting my hair done today. Which is, of course, why this episode is so late in the day. Blech. I am also eating Twizzlers for lunch. Because I was very good at the groomer. I didn't bite anyone. Not even a little bit. As opposed to all the other times. But yeah. I've got some creative writing to do today. Because I need to make more progress on the, Terra setting. So I can make sure that, Magical Girls goes great. AKA the Fate of Magic. Bleh. And I wrote out all of the rules of, like, magic in the setting as a general concept. Because it's like urban fantasy style thing. But it takes place in a world with spirits, wherein the spirits are the ones doing the magic, and not, like, the people. The actual situation there is I just tried to open my notes and it's giving me a worryingly long loading screen. I'm sure that's fine. Yeah, one of the notable things is that there is a fairly firm division between the physical and spiritual worlds. And one of the notable things is that, spirits have domains, which is, like, aspects of the physical world which they are responsible for maintaining, effectively. And they have an amount of innate ability to manipulate that domain. And there are, like, two notable factors that influence how good they are at that. The size of their domain determines how much power they are able to use, and their familiarity with an aspect of their domain determines the complexity of the manipulation. So it's one of those things of like, there is a slight like catch-22 situation there wherein the more you expand your domain, the more power you get, but the less complex manipulations you can do because you aren't familiar with every part of your domain as you have expanded into it. So it's like, yeah, I can manipulate open flames pretty effectively, but like hearths or whatever are a big blind spot for me. Or whatever. But notably, multiple spirits can have domain over the same, like, physical thing. Or spirits of a more precise thing can have their thing also be part of a larger domain. So if you have a spirit of fire, and a spirit of one specific hearth, the spirit of the hearth has the greater familiarity, but a lot less power. So the hearth spirit can do very advanced manipulations, but it doesn't have the energy with which to do big ones. So when you're hitting the details of it, the larger spirits are looking for ways to essentially get around the requirement of having to be more familiar with their domains. So they are making deals with smaller spirits to effectively lend portions of their power in exchange for being the one to do the magical working for them. Meanwhile, smaller spirits are always out to get more power. Hearth? How have people pronounced it? Hearth? Hearth? It's hearth. Is it not hearth? I legitimately do not know any other way that could be pronounced. I'm gonna be honest with you. Heart? Hearth? I guess. I don't like that, but okay. Anyway, larger spirits have the power, smaller spirits have the precision, and they make deals with each other in order to, like, enforce their domains. The smaller spirits are given power in exchange for serving the greater spirits. And it's usually on, like, an as-needed basis or whatever, but yeah. The one, like, major tricky bit, like, how humans get involved in this, is humans being, like, generally thinking creatures, but disappointingly physical ones. They have spirits in them, which is known as a soul. It is the bit of a biological entity that thinks, you know? But human spirits have bonded so closely to the body that they're effectively, like, impossible to separate. And they're very similar. So human spirits will passively generate quite a bit of energy. And they can't do anything with that, because humans have no innate ability to use magic. They don't have domains they can alter. At least not in the very literal sense that spirits do. What humans can do is lend their energy to spirits. And whereas spirits can only lend energies within their domains, so up or down, it has to be related. The energy produced by a human body. Howdy! Nice to meet you. Newport Pig Cooking Con? Alright. Anyway. That generic energy that humans produce in this setting is very valuable to spirits because it's like untyped, which means literally anyone can use it. Sadly, humans can't see spirits, so they arrange pre-existing deals to be like, hey, I need to do magic like out and about, like to protect myself on a whim. So when I do like this hand gesture, whatever, I am relinquishing this portion of my magic, and you use some of it to like cause a fireball to go in the direction I'm pointing or whatever. I am talking about how the magic system in a urban fantasy setting I have created works. Yeah, one of the notable things is humans cannot do magic. Humans just have a big reserve of generic energy. What humans do is commune with spirits, and spirits can do magic, effectively. So humans, a long time ago, made a bunch of deals with spirits in order to be like, hey, when I do X, you do Y, and you can have a portion of the energy required to do that. Like, I will give you the energy required to do that, plus a little extra for you to use for yourself. And the spirits are like, untyped energy? Hey, even if I don't have any magic I want to do, I can pass that off to someone else. Anyone else, for any kind of favor. So yeah. It's the very fun situation of, yeah, you make deals with spirits in order to, like, solidify your spells. And because humans can't see spirits in their day-to-day, but can commune with them through special rituals, like getting super high, when that agreement is made, you, like, set down, okay, these are, like, gestures I want to do in order to, like, and when I do that, you should do, like, the magical effect. And the spirits are like, got it. And this is, like, an ongoing deal that is maintained for a long time. And eventually, you know, that, like, practitioner passes down the knowledge of that contract and how to, like, you know, petition the spirit in order to do a little magical effect, down to, like, an apprentice or whatever. And that spirit goes like, oh, hey, I will get to that in a minute. That apprentice goes, hey, cool, I can do that. But that apprentice has never communed with the spirit. They don't know what it's like. They don't know any of that. So they learn the hand gesture, the words, they can do the effect, but they have no idea what the, like, spirit doing it is like. They just know, like, abstractly that, oh, my master made a deal with a fire spirit, and it will petition local spirits to do the fire magic. And that guy eventually passes on that information down to his apprentice. And he neglects some of the details because they've never been important for him. And passes down the knowledge of like, hey, do this hand gesture, say this thing, and it gets like a spirit to do the magic or whatever. No, it's a setting. It's a fantasy setting. I'm a writer. Is this a cult? What? I'm an artist. What the heck? But yeah, and as generations go on, the original knowledge of why it works is lost. But people learn the like, okay, when I do this, this happens. And the spirit doesn't really complain about their role being forgotten. Because a ton of people are now making use of this contract and all giving like little portions of their magical power to the spirit. And it's like, cool, I'm benefiting greatly from this. Even if the credit's been lost. So there are entire groups of mages who are practicing magic and misattributing the source. But the like true core of the system is humans are full of energy and no magical abilities. And spirits have a bunch of abilities, but not enough energy to use them. And a trade occurs. Ooh, coconuts. Okay. I need that. Now, for, that is generally true of the entire Terra setting. That is a constant across all of it. So that includes magical girls as well as, like, Radio Acorn and such. Which is a different urban fantasy thing that I hosted forever ago. So that is like a universal fact of like how the magic works. In the Magical Girls campaign, the way it works is basically there is outside of this like abstracted method to do magic where you are donating energy to spirits and the spirits are doing the effect for you. There is also the ability to become a monster. Now, monsters are what happens when a spirit and a human, like, merge, effectively. So the spirit inherits a physical body that is capable of producing energy, and the human gains the ability to act directly and make magical effects in the world, as opposed to using a spirit as an intermediary. A human gets to do magic for the first time, a spirit gets, like, unlimited power. And the result of that is both parties go insane and lose themselves in this new shape. Hey, Digi. And a monster is formed, usually with a very limited set of goals in its brain, in order to, like, you know, it wants to do X or Y as was established by the nature of its creation. And there are a ton of monster hunting organizations that exist, but notably you don't need to be a practitioner to end up as a monster. You just need to commune with a spirit. Spirits will try to go for practitioners because they have trained their energy reserves to regenerate faster and be deeper. But any human can do it. Really, some animals can also do it. One of those things. Like, if you get an adequately smart pig can also become a monster. But yeah. So, in that situation, they combine and they become a monster, and almost inevitably they ravage the countryside, attempting to fulfill their, like, very limited goal. That's handy. Jeez. Second balloon punch, I'm gonna weigh negative. Thinking your friend turned into a monster and then you learn later that it was just a pig. They come back from vacation. Yeah. But yeah. So, in the Magical Girls campaign, that looks really cool, by the way. In the Magical Girls campaign, a convention that a bunch of, like, local teens and unemployed young adults and such are attending. They're attending a convention, and the convention gets attacked by a monster. And a few humans who have, like, a notably pronounced magical potential or whatever. Something that they never could really have known about, but they're selected for. A few humans are picked, and they're like, hey, that is a monster. You're good. Don't worry about it, Newport. I'm a writer and you caught me mid-description. It makes sense that you were a little confused. These, like, young adults are selected for their magical capabilities. And some spirits take them to the side, sit them down, and is like, hey, that's a monster. It's real bad, and we need you to team up with me. We're going to give you the ability to see spirits so you can commune with me easily. And I am going to be, like, your personal spirit so you can kill that thing. Does that work for you? Because you can make a lot of energy. You are the best candidate in this building. And the young adults who have been pressed into accepting this offer are like, yeah, sure, I guess. And yeah, they each team up with one of the spirits of heroism who don't exist yet. They're going to be created after the characters. But the idea is for them to be, like, basically the mirror version of the characters. Like when you're trying to make a drag persona, you go for the opposite of what you're like. So, one of the characters is pre-made, like Winter Cold or something. Yes, that is her actual name. This character is supposed to have ice powers and be, like, a very refined student, perfectionist type. And they're getting paired with a spirit of seasons, who is capable of manipulating weather and such. And one of the notable things that a spirit of seasons is a spirit of change. So a spirit that will drive you to do things differently and get upset if you fall into, like, the same routine. because it wants you to do a different thing every time. It's a spirit of change. It likes to see things progress. So you have a student with perfectionist tendencies, who is being paired up with a spirit that prefers to see the world be different every time it comes around. That's the like attitude. And they have like shared interests. Like they're both dancers. Um, but they do these things in different ways, basically. Scout's Tenacity. I have not seen this one before. How close are we to night? Rip that kid? Absolutely rip that kid. So yeah, perfectionist student paired with the spirit of change. Shenanigans ensue. Going to be doing similar things with all of the other characters as they are brought to me, basically. Yeah. That's how the Terra setting works. And notably, since like a big part of a lot of magical girl shows is the girls somehow becoming corrupted, this like close relationship with spirits can totally result in the girls becoming dangerously close to turning monsters themselves. Still think it's a cult. I'm a writer, all right? You can believe whatever you want, I guess. If it helps, I don't think that's how the world is. I'm proposing an alternate world which does that. There's no way to act on it here. Magical girl situation of torment the child psychologically and physiologically. It's one of those like have I read Sleepless Domain? No, I have not. Yeah, notably it's like these magical girls are going to be able to like reach out and touch the like source of power. Like as they have partnered with these spirits, they can reach out and be like, oh, for just a moment we need to be in sync entirely. And like in the moment they are thinking the thing, the change is happening, and it's the closest to truly wielding magic they have ever been. And they start to go a little crazy, but get pulled out of it by the power of friendship. Or they don't! Oh, lovely. Okay, let me look that up. Let me look up Sleepless Domain webcomic. There we go. But yeah, the first monster and everything I have planned for the convention is a spirit of competition turned into a literal like rage monster, which is going to be called the Sore Loser. Because an outside force has grafted a spirit of rage onto one of the many losers in the competition. Whoever was the angriest, presumably. So we start with a sore loser, and then we move into shit like, I don't know, the fucking Viola of Worlds. And it's like, oh yeah, no, this musician was teaming with this spirit of resurrection in an attempt to get her dead mother back to play together one last time, and that's why they became a monster. And now you need to solve that. Fuck you. See if you can break this contract before it becomes permanent. God, that would legitimately be one of the saddest stories I have written in a hot minute. Because Terra is a utopian alternate history. Um, it is a world in which society has improved, but like technology hasn't. There are still like problems, you know? It's a world in which housing is guaranteed, but like you can still get sick and die. So tragic stories of the world turning against you are still gonna be able to be a thing. It is one of those things of there are no homeless people in New Prospects because there is such a focus on the idea of like creating a bunch of socialized housing effectively, where it's all government owned. And it's like, yeah, no, we built a bunch of apartment buildings in Center City here. Watch my language. Boss babe. Did I swear and not notice, or do you have a problem with the word socialized? Because it's entirely possible that I swore and didn't notice. But notably, it is like an alternate setting wherein a lot of societal issues have been worked out at the cost of now there's monsters. This is a world in which magic exists, and while a bunch of societal problems have been solved, there are now magical problems. But yeah, you hit like think you'd rather the little literal monsters? Yeah, especially because there are already secret government task forces that are created to handle them. And notably, not all monsters are bad, even though that is the common conception, is that all monsters are rage machines that will inevitably kill you. I said a cuss word? Oh no. Sorry. I do cuss on this channel. I apologize. If that is a notable problem for you, you might want to hop out. I don't cuss super often when I'm, like, talking about my stories, but when it gets to politics, I talk like a sailor. Not to imply that stories and politics never overlap. But yeah. So you've got the city of New Prospects with all of its public housing. And it's like, yeah, no, this is a world where there is always a safety net to catch you when you're at your worst. Hard to have one without the other, right? It's one of those fun things of like, yeah, I am writing a story wherein I have effectively decolonized America. Like that's the end goal of what I'm trying to depict. But one of the big issues with that is like I create this utopian society and it's like, yeah, this is not an apolitical system is the thing. You have to get used to the fact that like this is the ideology that you have to have for these policies to work. Okay. I like having a lot of balloons. I don't need that many though. So I will put one of my lanterns in the bag and leave the bandage behind. But yeah. I really like the world of New Prospects because it does depict a much better world. And I enjoy being able to do that. But also because it lets me do a lot of creative stuff with magic and depict a world which is quite a bit better, certainly, but not a perfect one. Ah, shoot. Heck. Darn. Drat. Right? I swear, this is how I've died every time I've hit the mesa. Tornado into a cactus because of a sandstorm, typically. Right? I have better luck in the Alpine. Yeah. Well, despite how much I like talking about my stories, I guess that's it for today. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. I will be talking more about Magical Girl stuff for the next few days, because it's going to be the only thing on my brain. Do they have to pay taxes? Yeah. No, have a gold day. I can hit the end screen and answer any more questions that people have. It's one of those notable things of like, you say that, but you also get paid more and you don't have to pay for housing. You know, you have to pay taxes, but you don't have to pay rent. Or food. You don't have to pay for food either. You'll know how the SNAP program in real life America works? Basically, the government has a very large bank account, which they put a bunch of money into. And they hand out SNAP cards to recipients of, like, who need food assistance. And they say, hey, we've talked to grocery stores. They will take our, like, government funny money. Here is a credit card that you can use. You have this limit every month. You can just buy food. In the world of Terra, the United States, instead of just implementing that for, like, the poor, are pioneers in having implemented that system universally. So everyone in America has a food assistance card. Because you pay the government money, and the government, yeah, you pay the government money, and the government pays all of your bills. You pay taxes once a year, and that's it. What currency? Dollar. They still use dollars in my alternate university. Uh, my alternate universe, not university. Granted, this is also a setting wherein America never expanded past the Mississippi, because Manifest Destiny was never a thing. The Louisiana Purchase also didn't happen, not because France was unwilling to sell that land, but because it was reclaimed by the natives, because it was like, why are you trying to sell that to us? Like, we're not your friend. We're not gonna say that we own that land now. It was not yours to sell. Yeah, no. In the world of new prospects, everyone has a food assistance card, and that's just like a thing. You can just use that. And it's like some amount of your wages are taken as taxes. Do you wipe it down? The food assistance card? Do you wipe down your credit card? When you pay at the grocery store, do you clean your credit card after? I guess it wouldn't be the most ridiculous thing to do, but I guess that's presumably up on an individual basis. But yeah, universal food assistance. Like housing is government owned. And the way that it works is like, yeah, you live in public housing, and you can put in an application to reserve either a specific house in the city or just any house that fits like certain standards or whatever. And that can be assigned to you if you don't have a preference, or you can look for a specific house that is on the market. And it's like anyone can have a house, and that's just a thing. Bad at English? That's fair. It'd be like that. But yeah, that's the situation. Is like all of these super progressive policies exist in this alternate universe America. Except also like the Fae are real and want to kill you. All of the stuff exists. Except also like skinwalkers are a real thing that exist in the world. Like you don't have to pay rent or utilities anymore. Um but you do have to worry about the bears. You have to worry about the not deer. Selling yourself for one chicken nugget. Wait, you have no reason to. Exactly. The only thing you sell your soul for in that universe is magic. And even then, it's only portions. And it grows back. More movies. More movies. Yeah. All of this is a tabletop setting. So, like, the political overtones of this are probably going to go largely unexamined, because this is also kind of how people run their, like, tabletop games generally. Because taxes and, like, paying for food and everything all are all kind of things that you gloss over generally. So I'm sitting down like, okay, I want all of this to be glossed over, but I don't want the problems to just exist in the background and we don't acknowledge them. I want the problems gone. So yeah, yeah. All right. I appreciate everybody who turned up today. Thanks to everybody who's watching. I need to go and do more writing for this project. I will see all of you guys next time. Bye. I had my mouse on the wrong screen, so